I would not say that the times we are living in at present are harder than others. It just appears to us at this time. I've read it in various traditions, but it's also apparent if you just look around. I'm now 61 years old, and it seems as if it was only yesterday that I was a young man starting out. Tomorrow I will be dead. There are friends of mine who have already passed on. So just looking around, life is evanescent. It goes. I don't teach happiness. I simply teach, here is a way of looking at the world. Why don't you try it? And if you find that it is better than the way that you're using, adopt it, because you will feel better, you will feel more fulfilled. You cannot avoid life crises. We are in the human predicament, and as long as we are humans, stuff will happen to us. There will be financial reverses, serious illness and death, relationship problems. You cannot avoid that. What you can avoid is becoming dysfunctional as a result of that. And that happens by having a viewpoint where you see these things in context. And what can I learn from it, and how can I move on? That's it in brief. It's actually quite an involved process, which I've described in my books. But the short answer is, you look at the world as a teacher as opposed to something which is out to frustrate you. The last 2 times I can recall I was sad was when my father passed away, and before that when my mother passed away. And it was a very trying time for me, but ultimately I was able to get to the point where I rejoiced that they lived and what they contributed to my life and the world more than I mourned their passing. I don't think that things make people happy. I believe that happiness is an inherent condition, and we have forgotten that it is an inherent condition. And what I teach is a process by which we can recognize that happiness does not lie outside us. It does not lie in what we can get or what we can achieve, but in how we view the world. No, that is one of the biggest misconceptions we have. We think that material things, family and so on, will make us happy, and they might be triggers to the happiness that is inside us. But material things come and go. Family is very close, but it also comes and goes. Think about it, even family comes and goes. Happiness is intrinsic to us. We use these factors as triggers for the happiness, and that is fine. But they're not the only triggers, and they are neither necessary nor sufficient. Happiness is in everybody, yes. Whether we interpret something as good is definitely a sign of how we view the world. There is a famous story of a shoe salesman who was shipwrecked on an island. 2 shoe salesmen who were shipwrecked on an island. And one of them called his boss and said, "This is a great market. Nobody wears shoes." And the other person said, "This is a lousy market. Nobody wears shoes." That's a perfect example of what I mean. That is a good question, and the short answer is A, I don't know, because those I can't turn don't come and tell me that I didn't turn them. And the second point is, I don't think that's the case, because I think virtually everybody who took my program felt my life improved as a result of taking Professor Rao's program. But part of the reason for that is I have a very rigorous screening process. So the people who pass through the screening process and are admitted to the course are already predisposed to try the things that I am going to recommend. So obviously their lives will improve.